And now our feature presentation.
Hey guys, I'm Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I'm a very hungover Krüz.
And welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast where wolves, we house in a tree, and we entertain, bringing you all latest entertainment news. Sets a lot like a music appreciation class to talk about what's going on in certain topics and see how people react to them in certain ways. How is everyone doing tonight?
Recovering after a busy week.
From a hangover myself. So, yeah, for when I'm not be super talkative, but I'll still do my part and such.
It is... At least your part is a little smaller this time around.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't want to. Well,
let's not alarm anybody, but I don't like sand. It's rough, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere, which is the same thing that you can describe coronavirus because Games Developer Conference, GDC, and South by Southwest have been canceled due to coronavirus fears. Seattle's version of Comic-Con, Emerald City Comic-Con, has been postponed to this summer. Italy has quarantined 16 million people in a specific region of the country.
Wow. Yeah.
People are insane buying toilet paper because how often are you shitting that you require so much toilet paper? Jesus Christ. Of all things to hoard, toilet paper.
Yeah,
what the hell are you doing? Paper mache?
They hoard like freaking bacterial soap. It's ridiculous. Man. We also forgot one other thing. This week's primary was pretty shitty, all things considered.
This week's primary? What? Because Elizabeth Warren's campaign pretty much died?
No, because apparently we're not doing so hot, and there's a certain particular candidate that I really want to win, but
who is it? Is it Bernie Sanders?
Yes, it's Bernie Sanders. So I don't want to make it seem like we're a political show, but we're just I agree with standing up for others instead of standing up for rich white people who have enough who don't think they do have enough. So it sucks, but hey, there it is. Anyway,
speaking of which, if you are a rich white person, consider donating to us on our Streamlabs.
S.E.T has been brought to you by Streamlabs. We are a non-profit podcast, but we use this as our go-to for making more episodes and help them be bigger and better than ever before by purchasing equipment or other visual means. Please don't feel obligated. We are not asking for money to pay the rent, but if you have the heart to donate, it is greatly appreciated. So, today's been a page I should say this week has been a page and a half because I had to get like a whole bunch of exams and papers done before the end of this week. It's been hectic. I am tired. I literally had to finish all of these, stuff pretty much on Saturday because it was so much. It was so much to do. And I only have this one paper that I got to get done, but I can't believe I actually pulled it off. But hey,
my grandpa had a stroke on Monday.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thankfully, it was caught almost goddamn near immediately. Actually, it was caught immediately. And he is currently in a physical therapy or an intense rehab facility where hopefully he will make a full recovery. He can walk with, assistance of a walker. Hopefully after this, maybe not, but he's still having trouble with his left arm, but it's been getting better and better. Like, I'm pretty sure I talked about it, but my other grandfather, who's my step-grandfather, complicated situation. But he had a stroke last June, and because he lived alone, he was down for several hours, and there was so much more neurological damage compared to my biological grandfather on my dad's side. So, yeah, at least there's a positive that, it's a shit situation, but there's that good positive at least.
Mm-hmm.
And Krüz is drunk.
Yes.
Or hungover from super drunk.
Oh, fuck.
So you just got back from Furthermore, didn't you, Krüz?
Yeah, I did.
You look completely out of it.
I am, but it was fun.
All right. Well, you gotta perk up for the show. Come on, perk up.
I'll try. I'll do my part. All right.
Just have
Well,
a cookie and a glass of orange juice. You'll be back to tip-top shape.
No, not that. Jesus Christ.
What?
Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to a determinedly drunk Krüz, I guess, doing the music section. Krüz, go.
Well, it's been a while for these guys. Boomtown Rats. Irish rock band. My dad likes. It's only their 7th album, first since '84. I think they're on hiatus for a while, but reunited fairly recently. Yeah, so the song is linked to trash glam or something. What's it called? I forget, but yeah, that takes yeah. I read words out of order. Well, classic rock, never going out of style, babe. And it arrives Friday the 13th. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that's this week too. So, oops.
Fun time, baby.
I mean, classic rock will literally never go out of style. There'll always be somebody considered a boomer in 40 years listening to the classic rock of like the 90s and 2000s. That will be considered classic rock at that time. And then you'd be
Wait,
like,
what
them
about boomers?
goddamn kids, they don't understand what music was. This is what real music was. They're listening to some weird fart step known as penis music or something like that.
Yep.
I like how you guys had nothing to say about that.
Well, I mean, like, I wish I did, but it's like I don't know what boomer music is. If it's a penis step, that is
this
hilarious.
is boomer music, apparently. It's a name.
well.
I was making a joke. I mean, you could be 15 and enjoy classic rock, even though most of those bands don't, or either they're still alive, but, you know, they don't, you know, play as a band anymore, or they're dead. Because it's been a while since they've been on their legs and played. It's been a while since they said we're awesome. Why am I singing Stained?
Anyway. I like Stained. There's only one song. Wait, no, that's Nickelback. Sorry, I confused Stained for Nickelback for a second there. Anyway, I don't have much to say regarding Boomtown Rats. It looks like a very nice Irish band. I'll have to take a look more about it. But hey, it's good to know that it's there. So that's really all I have to say.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get through this quickly.
Krüz, I can do this one. I can do a funny voice.
Yeah, do it.
Alestorm, Curse of the Crystal Coconut, album announcement. Date pending. Music pending. While we haven't been able to find a so-called link yet, there'll be news afoot, lads. The Mad Scottish Feckers be releasing a new album on May 29 of the year 2020. We will update if any releases happen before then, but you'll best beware. The seas be dangerous as ever with these marauding Scotsmen afoot.
Yeah. That was like Scott German-ish. Yeah, no music yet, but
Hey, they're gonna go around shoving anchors up people's assholes.
Yep. That's such a good song.
Oh, Lord.
One more. Korn.
Damn it!
They're
Can we go one season without saying that word?
No.
Well, doesn't look like it. They're having a summer tour with Faith No More. I'm gonna skip a large part of the block of text, but they're starting August 7th in Denver. So yeah, Korn, go see them. They're awesome.
I'll do some recaps. Korn was touring last year with Alice in Chains. looks like Los Angeles will be first, with 2 events at Bank of California Stadium before they go to Europe. They'll be back in the States starting August 7th, Denver, Colorado, heading south then east then back up north, so maybe not some West Coast. I don't know, but West Coast typically only means LA in California, and then they just fuck off. And maybe Phoenix, New Mexico, and Texas, but that's considered the South. But then they just fuck off. Maybe Vegas, too. That's considered the West. I mean, maybe if they show
Korn,
up. Maybe if they show up
Korn
around here.
You guys are going to have to take me to a literal Korn band, concert for me to appreciate their music. Seriously. Because Sorry about that. But yeah, Korn is interesting. It's just we have all these bands. We have stuff playing over here. We have stuff playing over there. So it's really nice that we get to see Korn again. So
as much to your disarray.
Disarray. That's really all I have to say for music, Krüz.
Yep. That's it.
That's it. We'll get his comments later about stuff.
Yeah, but
all
right.
I apologize if I don't sound so chipper this week. Again, there's been a lot of shit going on behind the scenes in my life, so yeah. When this comes out in a couple days, you might scroll back to the beginning of the episode and be like, oh, why doesn't he sound so great? Because I don't want to go over it again. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
And I'll be honest, these games, not my cup of tea. Hello, Wheelie, but first we must talk about today's race at Phoenix. Alex Bowman, after a dominating performance last week at Fontana, who scored his first win of the season, second of his career. But we can't celebrate all week, because it's time to duel in the desert. It's Phoenix time. A 500-kilometer, 312-mile race around the 1-mile track in the Arizona desert shall prove quite nice, as this year's short track package is very low downforce, high horsepower, and with the added bonus of PJ1 traction compound, it made for some great racing today. It was a hot, slick, and wild race this weekend, and no, it wasn't a porno. Get that out of your minds, because I know what you're thinking.
Right.
But as much as I don't like this driver, Joey Logano did. You know what? I'll give Joey Logano credit for this win, because there was a loose wheel penalty that he had. I think he had a speeding penalty at one point on pit road, and a broken
did you
jack.
say speeding penalty?
Yes, there is a pit road speed limit. There is a pit road speed limit. It's for the safety of other drivers and the crews.
He's too fast.
It's zero tolerance. Like, there's a set speed limit, say 45 miles an hour. NASCAR gives them a grace of 5 miles an hour. So if they are faster than, say, so if it's a 45 mile an hour pit road speed limit, the max they can go is 50. If they go any over 50, like for example, 50.01.
50 and a half. This man is speeding.
Actually, yes, they will penalize you for that. But he had to come back from pretty far back in the pack a couple times. I think, no, he didn't go a lap down at one point, but he's a douchebag. I don't like him on the track.
Do they just make you wait?
But it's typically, if it's under yellow, you have to go to the tail end of the longest line. Basically, you have to start in the back at the tail end of all the other lead lap cars. So at one point, he had to start 28th, which was the last car in the lead lap. But, he drove a great race today. I'll give him that. It was a great, this short track package, which will be used for 13 more races this year. It's going to be at every track, a mile, a quarter, and under, and the road courses. So, I believe this will total 14 races, but after today it'll be 13. But I'm probably off by 1, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, I'm going to bring this up again. GDC, Games Developer Conference, or Game Developers Conference. I forget what exactly it's supposed to be, has been canceled for coronavirus fears after a bunch of companies pulled out. South by Southwest, which is big for the Austin, Texas area and economy, has been canceled.
I wonder what's going to happen to E3.
That's a little interesting because I don't know. Rooster Teeth hasn't said anything. Well, not specifically. They're Austin based.
Emerald City Comic Con has also been, they've been postponed. Emerald City Comic Con, again, being the Seattle version of Comic Con, which is one of the bigger Comic Con events. E3 may be canceled this year, maybe due to coronavirus fears, but there's not going to be a presence of Sony as per last year. I'm pretty sure Nintendo will only do Direct this year. Microsoft and EA do have conferences typically either before or during E3, but the event organizers that were organizing or supposed to be organizing E3 this year have pulled out.
Yes.
And Jeff Keighley has also said that he is not going to be attending E3 this year, and he has pretty much always attended E3.
Just because of that one coronavirus, and don't get me wrong,
It's not just coronavirus. I believe it's like there's got to be other things going on in the with
everyone's
E3
just
and
gonna
the event
think
organizing.
it might be Corona, but I just randomly picked up because I saw that Kyle had tweeted about S.E.T and just saw this video pop up of a cat that's trying to get a toy. It like swipes at it, but then it hits another cat, and then that cat turns towards it and starts smacking the shit out of him.
Oh,
that's what I want to do to people buying all the goddamn toilet paper.
Buying all my goddamn Clorox. But that's like the fucking. I can't really do the voice now. Might feel a little better, but it's like the fucking Aaron from Gangram's bit, like, you're buying all my Reese's Pieces.
hey,
Fuck you, Jim. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Jim.
Fuck you. Get out of my store. Buying up all my Reese's Pieces.
I know, Mom. That's my best-selling product.
That's my best-selling product. Fuck you, Jim.
Oh yeah. Something I wanted to say about Korn. It's actually not even about Korn, but it's like, well, it's related. The tour runs through a place called Maryland Heights, which is not in Maryland. It's in Missouri. There's also like there's a Baltimore something in like Ohio, but well, I mean, there's of course the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, but
Baltimore something in Ohio.
I forget. It's called Baltimore Heights. No, it's some other kind of something. Something or other. Something or other.
And speaking of coronavirus, this will be, I believe, the last we will... Actually, no, it won't be the last we'll mention it, because it comes up again in Scarfy's segment, but...
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later, but Italy has quarantined 16 million people in a region
Italy is not doing hot. They reported like 2 or 3 cases in southern Maryland, but fortunately, I am not in southern Maryland currently.
I believe that
good.
Italy did report over 100 deaths in one day.
I think it's at 133-ish.
That's not good.
Yeah, and there's there is a travel ban going on. The number of people, this is the BBC reported this morning or this afternoon. The number of people to have died from the coronavirus in Italy has shot up by 133 in a day.
Damn.
To 366 in the whole country.
Oh my.
The total number of infections leapt 25% to 7,375 from 5,883.
Doesn't it strike you as odd that BBC News is actually more accurate than our news? Or actually more valuable?
Yeah, because all that our news likes to report, they want to be first. They want to be that first YouTube comment. They want to get everything out first before they actually get all the accurate information.
Fans, they were thinking of a name for that. I think the best one I heard was Department of Defense, but they have a gigantic fucking beer snake that they brought back.
Oh, really?
It's amazing.
You're going to be drinking out of that in about a week, aren't you?
It like the first tier, it almost goes up like the entire tier. I think they're trying to make it do that. Oh, that's funny.
Yes, but if you live in the state of Washington or anywhere in the U.S., stop buying all our goddamn toilet paper. Some people actually do need to stock up on toilet paper, because that'll be like our one toilet paper purchase for a month. You
I
don't
am
need
worried
all that
if
goddamn toilet paper.
I am worried if we're gonna run out of toilet paper in the California, because California is not doing so hot in terms of the coronavirus either. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Hey, you don't have the most deaths in one state in the country. We
It doesn't
do.
matter. Well, it doesn't matter. Like, coronavirus is still a big deal, regardless if you have the most states or not. But hey, we're getting a little off topic. And
Look, just wash your goddamn hands. Don't touch yourself. If you do touch yourself, wash your goddamn hands. And cover up your coughs and sneezes like a decent fucking human being, and don't spit on people, because you're a human being and you need to be decent. And stop buying all this goddamn disinfectant, soap, hand sanitizer, and fucking toilet paper, because you're panicking because you're a stupid white person with an IQ of 35. Anyway.
Why? Also, yeah, someone else tweeted about the fucking toilet. Why toilet paper?
I don't know. It's because maybe people, when they think they get coronavirus, they start shitting all over the place. And they need to wipe their ass. You know what they can do? They can shove all that toilet paper up their ass, because that's what they're doing with it.
You know when I wash my hands? When I shit on them.
Can we, like, move on to the actual news?
Yes, let's move on to, let's see,
You rolled
two
into
Weeb games.
super happy, awesome fun times.
What did you roll into? Rewatch the VOD when it comes in a couple days, and you'll understand the context. But for now, we must move on to My Hero 1's Justice 2. Apparently, there was a first game in this, but the battle for justice continues. But this time, the fight gets bigger, better, and quirkier in My Hero 1's Justice 2. Based on the hit anime series My Hero Academia, all of your favorite characters returned in this 3D arena fighter that pits heroes and villains in the ultimate test for righteousness. Righteous! If you watch this anime, you'll be able to play as over 40 of the show's characters and relive iconic scenes of the game. These games are not my cup of tea this week. But if you want to go pick it up, it's out on Friday the 13th for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox One.
And Steam.
Yes, it's on Steam. Then, Stormy, thank you for subscribing. Here's your egg. And it played the sound bite because it's automatic.
Oh yeah, Naka reminded me. Someone had a giant, like not giant. It was just like a poster size picture of like Danny DeVito's face at the con, and they were just letting people. So it was just.
Would you like an egg in this trying time?
Yeah.
Trying time. How, like, seriously, how is everyone, like, you know, like, I know you're not a huge fan of My Hero Academia because you know very little of it, but hey, it looks interesting enough. But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched the anime either. It's the one I think that of ones I haven't watched gets talked about most, other than, well, something else. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have. I'm just not that good at like these kinds of fighting games or whatever, and also, even if I watch and like the anime, I wouldn't get any of it anyway. But it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about My Hero 1's Justice 2 other than I hope it's a good game. That's really all I have to say regarding it.
All right. Shall we move on to Langrisser 1 and 2? We're moving on to Langrisser 1 and 2. If you have played these games before, it's because you probably owned a Sega Genesis and or Mega Drive. Yeah, there is some liquor I do want for my house, but I can't.
It's like the coronavirus can't kill me if I kill myself first. Don't do that.
That was actually a joke on the cold open of Saturday Night Live last night, and I know I'm getting a little off topic with this, but you know, coronavirus, alcohol is a disinfectant, and I'm gonna live forever. Chugs a martini. It was supposed to be a parody of the Ingram Angle on Fox News, and it was very decent. And you know, I know she's out of the race, but Elizabeth Warren actually came on the show, didn't make it that political, didn't attack anybody, was actually making some jokes, was in good spirits about it. But alas, we shall move on to Langrisser I and II, two legendary titles remade for the modern age. Again, these were released for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive consoles in the 16-bit era. Wow. But these games have new visuals, new animations, music, voice characters, and more. Langrisser I and II brings new life into the classic strategy RPG series, coming out March 10th, 2020 for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Sorry, that's a little... So, I was looking at this game, and, I don't know. There's something about it that just, like, feels very Final Fantasy-esque, and I'm really surprised you don't seem all that interested in this particular game. But hey, I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks great. I don't know how you feel about it intentionally, Naka. What do you have to say regarding it?
I mean, it's of the era, if you think about it, of game design, because at the same time, before Final Fantasy switched over to Sony and the PlayStation, because they were just like, yeah, if we want to make Final Fantasy VII, it's going to be like 30 cartridges, whereas if we make it for PlayStation, it'll be like 3 discs max. But again, because in the 16-bit era, everything was still, there were differences between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. So, with that in mind,
I do see what you're saying.
It's still the 16-bit era, and you had Final Fantasy going along at the same time.
The graphics look great.
It does make sense why you'd make the comparison. It's definitely more anime style for the remaster / remakes. But, you compare it to the Genesis versions, because it's Genesis in North America and Mega Drive in Europe and around the world. You could definitely see the Final Fantasy connection.
Yeah. Hey,
goddamn phone. Sorry about that.
I just opened up to see the trailer, and I thought it was that. It was in like the trailer or whatever.
What do you have to say regarding it, Krüz?
Looks. Did I just click out of the thing? Oh, fuck me.
As he was explaining how he feels about it, you ask him, how do you feel about it?
How does this make you feel? I don't know. I what was it? I did the demo of Octopath, kind of like that. I think it's that RPG, almost like sort of. This is like an RPG, but also like a dungeon crawler-y type of thingy deal. I assume like both games are like this. I don't know if the clip just showed or the trailer just showed. It would have had to have shown both, probably, but whatever. Yeah, I'm a little more excited for the next game. So here's the thing about. I'll just get this out of the way. Beautiful visuals for the next game. Beautiful visuals and music. Hard as it's like just infuriating sometimes with platforming. But
hey Naka, are you there?
We'll let him start.
Yeah, I'm here.
So who was on the phone?
I'm not going to disclose that information right now.
All right, well, doesn't matter.
It was on my desk. I forgot that it was still on my desk. It's on the other desk, it's supposed to be on the other desk, which is about 6 feet away. So it still would have rang really loud. I'm sorry for breaking everybody's eardrums with that, because it was right there. But we shall move on to Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
AKA
Ori and the Blind Forest 2.
Well, I was going to say Krüz. This is a game that Krüz really wants to get.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps is an upcoming platform adventure Metroidvania game developed by Moon Studios and published by Xbox Game Studios exclusively for Xbox One and Windows 10. It's a sequel to the 2015 title Ori and the Blind Forest, announced during E3 2017. Oops. The release date was pushed a few times, seeing as how it was planned to release in 2019, then February 11th of this year, but it's finally coming out a month after it was supposed to come out this year, March 11th, 2020. Xbox Game Studios have announced a collector's edition with a Piano Collections CD, with the music, jackasses. A steelbook, which is it's the metal
Case.
packaging.
The metal case that goes.
Yes, the metal case that goes with it. An art book, MP3 download of the soundtrack, and premium packaging, which is the steelbook, as well as the game. I was actually watching Brock Baker on Twitch play Ori and the Blind Forest about a week ago, because
really?
I hadn't really seen her play the original game, and it's a very unique and very stylized game, but it's beautiful for what it is. It's got great music. It's got great visuals. I don't know what to think about the story, because I was like, oh, this is like right in the middle of shit. So
I see what you mean.
I think what happened is that there's like a giant owl that it was, so there was like a light, or like it was like a light energy orb, which was like the life source of everything. And the owl, it's revealed later that the owl had like babies and like needed to either wanted to hide the light away because it hurts their eyes, or needed it to, I think it actually that is what happened. And then it eventually you face down the owl, and it realizes that, or because she's the mother, I believe, realizes that everything else is dying, and she has to sacrifice herself and her children to allow everything else to live. I don't know what the story of this one is. I mean, the story doesn't. It's like it's a platformer type game with little puzzle bits and such.
Right.
The sequel, I don't know exactly what happened, but it shows what I believe were like the original teaser was like it was like the owls, but they're like frozen, or like, and then Ori goes like and sees one of the owl children there. I don't know. That's gonna babble on enough about that game, but it does look very. The visuals and music are real good.
Yeah.
I do also sorry, no, forgot to mention if you're not like the definitive or collective edition, collector's edition, they act like, I think the game, like, it had not different or like extra music like that was in the game. I think it was the main menu music. That one is like one of my favorite songs from it. Yeah, that's it.
all right. Excuse me.
Well, I will have to ask, Krüz, should I invest in the first game?
I think it's actually
like, in your eyes, would you think I should I play it?
I think you should. You would really enjoy it. I know I'm not Krüz, but it looks really, really good.
I think it's cheaper now. I don't remember how much. You can probably get cheaper, or you can like I don't know if there's a demo or whatever, but I think there was. Oh no, it was a tutorial. No, never mind. But yeah, it's nice, like puzzle kind of platformer. You'll probably really like the music too. So I'd say yeah. Bop, bop.
All right. Now we move on to the final game of the week. We're a bit light on games this week. It's next week that we have some big titles coming out. So
we have a big meme coming out next week when it comes to video games.
We don't talk about it right now. We don't spoil it for the lovely folks at home.
Yes. Anyway.
But now we move on to Nioh 2. Brought to you by the developers who gave us boob physics.
Was that fucking my friend showed me a clip in high school?
It's the Dead or Alive developers.
There's Rise, Son of Rome, and it was just as this woman is talking to you and standing still, or sort of slowly just going boom, boom. I'm like, come on. That's ridiculous.
Oh, it's the Dead or Alive developers. Okay.
Is that from them? Or is that...
I'm not sure what Rise Son of Rome was developed by, but this is an action RPG similar to its predecessor on the PlayStation 4, Nioh, even though this comes first in the story. This is a pre-sequel. It's a prequel that's a sequel. A prequel.
Yeah.
You create a character that's a yokai spirit, equipped with a variety of weapons such as Odachi in Kusarigama. So it's like... it's... I can't remember. I was looking up the kanji for this, but Kusarigama is supposed to be like a ball and chain weapon.
Like a flail type thing.
And you earn new skills as you progress through the game because, of course, it's an action RPG. What do you expect? Defeating enemy yokai may earn you soul cores, which allow you to use yokai abilities and transform into a yokai after depositing said cores into a shrine. At places named Benevolent Graves, players can summon at most 2 avatars of other players controlled by AI to help you in combat, or you're able to play a 3-player co-op multiplayer mode, which it's a weird number, but whatever. If you're into Nioh and have a PlayStation 4, it releases in Japan on the 12th of March, and the rest of the world gets it Friday the 13th. I don't know what's up with staggered releases this month, man.
Well, I guess it's a lighter month, and also lighter for music, but I mean, not much. Like, I mean, I guess some of the stuff I'm excited for is mostly coming out in April. But the hot activity for music is, I guess, from a lot of things is like summer because there's a lot of tours going on. And that's why you had like 4 or so announcements from me about that. It's when spring actually kind of begins is when the actual games start to come out. This one, well, I don't have a PS4, so I'm not going to be able to really get it until I eventually get a PS4, if I do that. The game, I don't know. I mean, you could play this first to have the story better, though. I think it's intended to have it be like you have played the first one, so you can understand like callbacks or whatever. But I don't know. Looks like a cool, gritty. Kind of looks like the characters look like something from like Tekken or something. But
I was gonna say the characters look a lot more like from Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, I was getting Sekiro vibes from it. Yeah.
What do you have to say regarding this particular game?
I mean, I already said it.
Oh, well,
again, these games really aren't my cup of tea this week.
no,
Not my cup of joe.
not like next week.
Yeah, not
I
like
understand
next
what you're
week.
saying.
But
I mean, hey, it's there. I wish all the best with this franchise. I wish I enjoyed it as much as most people do. But hey, at least we know exactly where to come from. Hold on. I feel like I've seen this particular thing before. Hold on.
what, Nioh or?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, there was a game that came out for the PS4 a couple years ago called Nioh.
Okay, I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about another PS4 game where you play as a god. I forgot, and you have like multiple arms and you're punching people. I forgot what it was called. but-
It's not Knack because Knack is cack.
Wait, Knack? What do you mean Knack?
Knack was a PS4 launch title, but it was cack.
How do you spell it?
I believe it was Knack.
No, not that game. It was a different game. But hey, I'll think about it when we get to that. But hey, it's there. It looks great. That's really all I can say.
Yep. And now we shall move on to movies with Scarfy. This is no time to die.
The irony is rich.
Unfortunately, the coronavirus
It is
alerts.
now the time to die.
Unfortunately, the coronavirus alerts don't stop here. It seems that the official 007 Twitter account has stated that their next Bond film, No Time to Die, will be pushed from April to November 2020 due to apparently the coronavirus hitting the global theatrical marketplace, affecting the film industry significantly. This makes it the fourth delay in terms of trying to release the film. However, Deadline Hollywood reported from speaking with inside sources that the rescheduling was a purely economic choice and not directly related to the coronavirus. Shifting the film to November would match with the traditional window for Bond film releases since GoldenEye, and MGM and Universal needed to assure a strong performance across all international markets or could potentially lose the Bond franchise. Thus, the rescheduling was to make sure all movie theaters, particularly those in China, South Korea, Japan, Italy, and France that were shuttered due to an outbreak, were open and operational and was not related to the safety of theater goers or employees over the coronavirus.
Bullshit.
This choice, however, has also affected other films' release dates. Trolls World Tour will be released a week earlier than planned from its April 17th release to April 10th in America, with Saint Maud basically trailing right behind it, now releasing on April 10th as well. So what do you have to say regarding this?
It's just basically, it's Hollywood execs saying, yeah, people aren't going to as many movies right now. We're not going to make so much money. Even though this is one of the biggest films in one of the biggest film franchises of all time, and it will easily, even if it's a shit movie, get its box office back. And I'm not saying it's a shit movie, by the way. I'm just using that as an example.
Star Wars effect.
Yeah.
But it's easily, even in a global pandemic, it will easily make its box office money back, and it will be a success for MGM and Universal.
Right.
But it's I understand why they're doing it. It's bullshit why they're doing it. It's all bullshit, folks, and it's bad for you.
Yep.
What do you have to say regarding this particular thing, Krüz?
I was, I think I've seen 5 Bond movies. What's the one where they paint the woman gold?
Goldfinger,
yeah, that would make sense. Dr. No, Spectre, Skyfall, and Casino Royale.
I heard Casino Royale was really good.
I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed that most of like the Daniel Craig ones. Though Skyfall really is close to that. Spectre wasn't as good. The problem I have with this movie is the choice of artist to do the intro song.
You really
fuck Billie Eilish. Boring, more like boring eyelash.
You really don't like. I understand you really don't like Billie Eilish, but does that mean you have more respect for Adele, who sang Skyfall?
Yeah, and the song was.
I would ask the same.
The song was really good. That was best. I think that was it was the best of the songs of the ones that I remember.
I could ask the same.
The other one I can remember was Sam Smith, and that's it.
I could ask the same to say Naka if he actually.
No,
really
I
likes,
love Skyfall's intro.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because it's a proper Bond thing.
But do you like Adele singing the song?
Yeah, she's a great fit for it.
Oh wow. So you have more.
I
respect
bought the
for
song
her
on
than saying...
iTunes because I liked the singing of it. This is back when I had an iPod.
Wow.
Back when the film came out, but I don't have an iPod anymore. But that's kind of besides the point.
Right. I was. So you have more respect for Adele than say Billie Eilish.
You still have to respect both musicians, even if you don't like their music. Billie Eilish. I'm not sure how to say it, and I don't want to piss her off. There's a lot of people who think that her music is so deep, but when you have a song like "I'm the bad guy," like, what is that song even supposed to be about? Tell me that.
Do you not go on Genius.com to look it up yourself?
Misandry or something? The opposite of misogyny, the male version, misandry or something. I don't know.
Let me look it up. White shirt,
it's kind of
red
that.
nose, my bloody nose sleeping. Okay. Uh, all right. White shirt, bloody nose. The chorus sees Billy equally comparing herself to the man she wants a relationship with. Her description of him ties into the image of the bad boy that any sane father would disapprove of when she says, "So you're a tough guy, like it really rough guy." This doesn't frighten her, however. Instead, she counters by telling him how similar they are. Of course, might seduce your dad type garnered some minor controversy due to her being only 17, but hey. And then when she says, "I'm the bad guy," there's just a whole bunch of, people wondering what it really means. So, it's Billie Eilish. I haven't really listened to a whole lot of her music, so I can't really say for sure what exactly is it that she, does, but hey. So, that's really all I have to say regarding that. Any more news on James Bond, or do we want to move on to our film? Do we want to move on to our week ahead?
Do it. Let's move on to our week ahead.
All right. Our first film that we're going to talk about on our show tonight is an indie project that I hope gets off the ground. Our first film that we're going to talk about is Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. It's a 2020 American-British drama film written and directed by Eliza Hittman. It stars Sidney Flanigan, Talia Ryder, Theodore Parolin, Ryan Eggold, and Sharon Van Etten. It had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival on January 24th, 2020. An intimate portrayal of two teenage girls in rural Pennsylvania, faced with an unintended pregnancy and a lack of local support. Autumn and her cousin Skylar embark on a brave, fraught journey across state lines to New York City. As an independent project, I can only hope that this film does moderately well. I'm all for films that take up the ground, but sadly, there's not much to say regarding this one. If you'll feel adventurous and wanting something new, the film releases March 13th. I've heard many, many good things about it. It's been advertised on many different platforms, not just YouTube, but also on the television and all these other things. So I can't say it's a bad movie, and I can't say it's a bad trailer because I like what I'm seeing. There's just not much for me to talk about.
Exactly.
Or as the Brits would say, on the telly.
Krüz, Naka, what would you have to say?
I don't. I mean, I don't. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a film. Like it's kind of my mom kind of film. Shit she would just watch. I mean, it looks real good for an independent project. I mean, just from looking at it, like visually, like how it looks. The story's not that very interesting to me, but I don't know. I mean, if it's more power to the fucking whatever, the people who made it. Yeah.
And as for you, Naka?
So I'm also looking it up because you said it was premiered at Sundance. It also won. It was selected to compete for the Golden Bear in the main competition selection at the 70th Berlin International Film Festival, where it won Silver Bear Grand Jury Prize. So it does have an award to its name already. It's just not. It's not a big major award, but it actually
Berlin, as in Berlin, Germany, correct?
Yeah, not Berlin, Maryland.
Yeah, it's actually on this screen right here. I'm just, I'm gonna use. Oh no, not that one. This one. I'm going to. This isn't really a good moniker, but I'm using this man from the Bob Iger thing last week to circle what I'm talking about, because it's actually on the poster. That it was at the 70th Berlin International Film Festival. And
this guy, this guy.
I mean, yeah, it's,
that circle of life.
It's kind of an out of the ordinary movie. And again, if it's got some award to it, it's not it's not a negative award, it's a positive award, so hopefully it succeeds well in the mainstream
you get a trophy
box
for
office.
Being utter shit. Though I did say I did find it kind of funny, like in a kind of way where it's like the doctor's doing nurse doing the ultrasound, and she says that's the most beautiful sound you'll hear, while like the girl looks like she's about to cry. It's like, Why did you say that? Oh boy.
Anyway, is that all we have to say regarding this movie? And do we want to move on to our next film? That's a little tiny bit controversial, but not exactly. But
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Well, it's time for the classic hunting story we read in high school, adapted for film with some twists. The Hunt is an upcoming American thriller film directed by Craig Sobel and co-written by Damon Lindelof, based on the 1924 short story "The Most Dangerous Game" by Richard Connell. The film stars Betty Gilpin, Ike Barinholtz, Emma Roberts, and Hilary Swank. Jason Blum from Blumhouse Studios is serving as a producer under his Blumhouse Productions banner. Loosely based on the 1924 short story, The Most Dangerous Game, the film follows 12 strangers who mysteriously wake up in a clearing. They do not know where they are or how they got there. They discover that they have been chosen to be hunted in a game devised by a group of elites. The hunters gather in a remote facility called the Manor House, but their sport gets derailed when one of the hunted, Crystal, fights back and starts killing them one by one. Both Sobel and Lindelof have said that the film serves as a satire on the profound political divide between the American left and right. The film was originally scheduled for release on September 27, 2019. However, following the Dayton and El Paso mass shootings in early August 2019, Universal Pictures decided to shelve the release of the film to avoid controversy, which, you know, I kind of agree, sort of. The decision came a day after criticism regarding the film came from the United States president. I wish there were more I could talk about this film, but I am kind of getting tired of people saying that films aren't political when they really are. Guys, I hate to burst your bubble, but all films you watch are political, whether you want them to be or not. Stop trying to pretend they're not. You're only fooling yourself. Anyway, aside from the political pressure I feel oozing with this picture, I just don't know what to think of it. I can't help to think I'm getting Hunger Games vibes looking at it, despite being based off the short story I read in high school years ago. So a bit of a mixed bag. I don't see anything too insulting with it. It's not something that interests me, so we'll have to see what ratings have to say. However, if you want to pass the time, the film releases on March 13th. So
I mean,
hey.
you don't see. I was watching this because there was a trailer that was. It was either on last night or this morning.
Right.
I was watching TV and a trailer or a commercial for this movie came up, and at one point, you see, I believe it's the main character, run over somebody, and goes over them, and then backs up and trying to crush somebody's head. You don't see like the actual head being crushed, but it's very much implied. It's very interesting, and I can totally see the split between America's left and America's right on the political spectrum, and I can already kind of see it. Whatever side the Democrats fall on, because if Bernie doesn't get elected as the Democratic candidate, there's going to be a lot of infighting with Democrats, and there's going to be a lot of violence between people who supported Bernie against those who didn't, and it's not going to be fun. This election year is already a bit of a shit show.
I mean, if you look at it this way, I kind of already guessed it was going to be something bad because, like, I remember saying to myself after I was warned by John Oliver, bless his soul, that this year was going to be a toxic year. Don't be surprised if 2020 actually becomes 2016, the sequel, because it most likely will. So, as for the movie, however, I mean, I can't say it's going to be bad. I just don't know what to think of it. Krüz, do you have anything to say?
I think it depends on what's obviously a little more comedic version of the story that what is it? That the music video and kind of lyrics really to an extent, but more directly the fucking music video for World Painted Blood by Slayer. It's little kind of like background. It's weird, kind of minimalist animation in some ways, but there's basically a Lincoln Memorial looking building in the middle of the fucking desert for some reason, and there's some guys inside, like around like a table, and they have like a projected thing of like the Earth, and of course the pentagram shines up over it. But basically, what's happening is that, or what happens is that they are like I don't know who actually does it because I think it is the main guy that you see there. He like pushes a button or something, and then like this I don't know. Yeah, the fuck me. The front of the building he's in opens up, and like these tank things with like teeth and like spikes and shit. They start running over people, and then they like paint it's not called world painted blood, but they just paint the ground with the blood of the people they run over. And
I hear you paint houses.
Yeah, and then they like join up together, and this skull comes out of the ground, uses those tanks as its feet, and then starts marching towards the building. So basically, I guess the idea behind that rambling is that it's irrelevant not to be like the sound cynical centrist or whatever, but the idea is that like elites are of course on both sides, and not to be of course the whole both sides thing, but the idea is that like you're not choosing between good and evil like you really think you are. You're choosing on how you're getting fucked. That's pretty much the idea behind that. I mean, some of the I don't know, slapstick kind of comedy that comes from like, I don't know, it looks like it would have some good moments, but other than that, I'm not like super interested in seeing it. But it looks like I would really enjoy those like over the top kind of kills and moments, and like just that weird fucked up shit. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm always a fan of violent, brutal Hunger Games like style.
I'll murder. I'll fucking do it again.
I'm guilty. I'll fucking do it again.
I killed him.
I killed a mime. No,
That's a murder. A murder.
All right, now let's move on to a crappy movie I don't want to talk about. One more thing, I do understand why they delayed this movie until March 13th of this year.
This is like the exact same plot of the game plan. Literally the exact same plot.
I was talking more about The Hunt, but My Spy, spoiler alert for this next movie, it's garbage. Don't watch it.
Well, it's now time to see what the WWE superstar Batista is doing, which unfortunately he's not playing Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We're still waiting for that, but hey. We're going to talk about My Spy, a 2020 American action comedy film directed by Peter Segal, written by John and Eric Hober, and starring Dave Bautista, Chloe Coleman, Kristen Schaal, and Ken Jeong. Threatened by a threat of being fired, a hardened CIA operative named JJ finds himself at the mercy of a precocious 9-year-old girl, having been sent undercover to surveil her family. JJ teaches the girl how to be a spy, while the girl teaches him how to smile and have fun. Hilarity ensues. Oh boy!
Does it though?
I see this plot. I see this plot coming from a mile away. Like, the director of the film is Peter Segal, who directed Anger Management, 51st Dates, The Longest Yard, and probably his magnum opus, Get Smart. Unfortunately, however, I can kind of see how this movie is going to go. Girl meets spy, spy negotiates with girl so that she'll negotiate with spy. They have fun. There's a huge, big misunderstanding. They separate, and then they get together in the climax. I don't want to say that's the plot to the movie, but
that checks out.
It's a strong indication that this is where it's going to end up.
Repeat formula.
I mean, if it doesn't, hey, more power to that. I'm all for expected twists, but that's not exactly enough to convince me to go see this movie. I'm kind of on the same boat here too. There's
the only
nothing
interesting thing about it to me, actually, though, is that because I've only seen Dave Bautista play Drax, I didn't like know what he looked like without all the makeup or CG or whatever it is.
I mean, like, there's nothing that really interests me or intrigues me more than it should. But hey, if you're looking for a film to waste some time, the film releases on March 13th. Yeah, Naka, what do you have to say regarding this other than you think it's a crappy movie?
It's a crappy kids film. It's like, oh no, you've seen all this. Oh, it's PG-13, but it's still like the same. Oh no.
Yeah, it probably says like shit a few times or something like that. I don't know.
I
But
see.
oh no, I'm a spy. Or it's like this person's a spy, and we're gonna get along for each other until there's a sudden big realization that oh no, they're not who they seem. They're gonna get in a big fight about it. Something's gonna happen, and then they have to go save each other and make amends with themselves. How many?
Alternatively, this could be in decent social commentary on doxing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but what's actually done about doxing? And at the end of the day, if you think about it, nothing.
Yep, nothing at all. I mean, Krüz, did you say that you want to say, or do you just want to move on to the next?
Pretty much.
And as for you, Naka,
And in my bloodshot eyes, all I can see is everything's fine.
all right. Well,
In a
now
shot
it's time for
tuxedo, here goes nothing to her. Sorry for interrupting. I wanted to finish that.
Now it's time for something a little more exciting. Bloodshot is an upcoming American superhero film based on the Valiant Comics character of the same name. It is intended to be the first installment in a series of films set with a Valiant Comics shared universe. Directed by David S.F. Wilson in his feature directorial debut from a screenplay by Jeff Wadlow and Eric Heiserer, and a story by Wadlow, the film stars Vin Diesel, Isaac Gonzalez, Sam Hugan, Toby Kebbell, and Guy Pearce. Talks of a Bloodshot film adaptation began in 2012 with Jared Leto originally set to star. In March 2018, Diesel was hired to portray the title role, and the rest of the cast joined over the following months. Filming commenced in South Africa in August 2018, lasting through October. All right, now, I adapted from the comic book of the same name. Bloodshot follows the plot of a man and woman in love. After he and his wife
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
after he and his wife are suddenly assassinated, Marine Ray Garrison is reborn by a team of scientists. Enhanced with nanotechnology, he becomes a superhuman biotech killing machine, Bloodshot. As Ray first trains with fellow super soldiers, he struggles to recall anything from his previous years, but when his memories flood back and remembers the man that killed both him and his wife, he breaks out of the facility hell-bent on revenge, only to discover that there's more to conspiracy than he originally felt. I had to talk with a comic book fan to let me know what Valiant Comics was. Apparently, it's a comic book company that was formed in 1991. After failing to buy Marvel, former Marvel editor-in-chief Jim Shooter, along with a group of investors, founded Valiant Comics. The idea was to launch a whole new superhero universe with a very tightly woven and controlled continuity and somewhat scientifically plausible powers. With Bloodshot, I don't know any hardcore comic fans talking about this movie or know anything about it. The only thing I can really say is that I hope that the film will be good and maybe hopefully it will get off the ground. Of course, I think it's best if we hold our breath for the time being when the film releases also on March 13th.
Wow,
Now,
is there like
I don't wanna
literally
say-
any other day that stuff will come out on this week?
I mean, well, not coming out this week, but I guess we had some other dates mentioned and shit. But yeah,
I mean, what do you have to say regarding this particular
I mean, I've seen commercials for it. It's very interesting and it's very, I'll admit it is very weird. It's a kind of a weird concept, but Vin Diesel in a movie where he's, some super badass. We totally haven't seen this before. Triple X Chronicles of Riddick.
yeah.
I was also going to bring up Die Hard. I don't think he was in Die Hard.
That's
Well,
Bruce Willis.
It does have Die Hard energy. Speaking of Bruce Willis, sort of. Well, there's a Hungarian energy drink called Hell, and apparently, Bruce Willis is the spokesperson, or like his face is like on the vending machines or whatever. And the reason I say that is because about Hungary, where I lived for a little bit. I think around the middle of the trailer, you can see that building with the red roof with all the pointy spikes on it. That is the Hungarian Parliament, which I have visited. It's cool. Yeah, it just looks like a kind of die hard like energy level kind of action, like balls to the walls kind of action movie. I mean, I might just like
Testicles with spectacles.
So I missed the part before you said spectacles. But yeah, I mean, again, it's like there are a few few films I would like run to see in theaters. I think the last time I was in theater, I saw Sonic. But this one looks like I would just probably just watch it when it comes on demand at home and be like, if I just want to have like, I like those kind of like one and done kind of like action movies, but because you say it's connected to the comics, it's based off comics actually, but it will be like less one and done, I assume, if they're planning on making more movies,
Right.
or making a sequel even. But yeah.
Is that Naka? Is that all you want to say regarding this movie?
Yeah.
So, guys,
Keep it in your pants.
it's hey,
Well, we know it is.
guys, it's time.
Keep it in your pants.
Wanting.
I've ejected.
Relax. I've been wanting to talk about this one particular medium for a while now, and now it's finally time. It's finally come. It's finally time to talk about Beastars, a 2019 American series adapted from our wonderful mangaka Paru Itagaki. The anime released its first season in Japan on October 8th. More on that later. The anime English dub stars Jonah Scott, Laura Jill Miller, Griffin Putau, Lauren Landa, Keith Silverstein, Kaiji Tang, and Benjamin Diskin.
Oh, he is in this. I didn't think.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yes, he is. Set in a world of anthropomorphic animals, tells the story of an unfortunate murder that has taken place at Cherryton Academy. Herbivores and carnivores are sadly put up against each other, blaming the other because they don't know who is responsible. However, here we learn about our main character, Legoshi, a shy, awkward teenage wolf boy who works as part of the drama club's stage crew. Tall and intimidating, yet quiet and kind, things get even more complicated when he encounters Haru, a dwarf white rabbit who is easily picked on, but who definitely is strong enough to stand up for herself. When their paths cross more and more, it becomes more evident that Legoshi is starting to fall in love with her, struggling to keep his carnivorous instincts under control. All the while, Legoshi takes it upon himself to figure out who is responsible for the murder at Cherryton Academy, and asking himself if he can even be with Haru due to him being a carnivore. So, a little bit of a rundown. The manga was released on September 8th, 2016, 7 months before another medium released. Which one? Zootopia. At first glance, This almost seemed as if it's playing as some kind of Zootopia ripoff, but I'm very sure that the mangaka, Paru Itagaki, had no idea what Zootopia was until she saw it, or was inspired to create her own world at Cherryton. I'm sure that this was original before it could even be made, just needed to throw that out there. Another thing I want to talk about is the animation. It looks great. I actually kind of thought Japan happens to be one of the... I actually kind of like the idea that some anime nowadays is actually getting more experimental with 3D animation, even though Japan happens to be one of the last bastions out there who still draws animation in 2D. I guess my only problem is that the English-speaking countries had to wait for the English dub, which has a phenomenal cast, I may add. You see, the way Netflix tends to work is that, unfortunately, while TV shows are released for us to binge watch, Japan actually still sticks to its normal routine of one episode per week. I don't really understand why they do it like this when
Rooster
all the
Teeth
episodes
does that
are
too, and
So does
sort of
Disney
related to Rooster
Plus.
Teeth.
I don't really understand why they do it like this when all the episodes are probably created and finished, but it's the reason why we call it Netflix in Japan, Netflix jail. I've already seen the anime in its original Japanese dub with English subtitles on fan sub sites. Yes, I know it's technically piracy. I get it.
Technically, it is.
But there's really no excuse why we had to wait 6 months for this anime when the episodes were already there.
It's called licensing.
It's too long of a time to wait. However, thankfully, we don't have to wait any longer. The English dub, as well as Japanese dub's first season, will make its way to English-speaking countries on Netflix on March 13th. And yes, furries are going to be born left and right. Maybe this will finally be the anime series where weebs and furries finally tie the knot. Of course, we also have something waiting in the wings, but we'll talk about it when we're ready for it. So, guys, Naka, I've been hyping this particular medium for a while. What do you have to say regarding it?
I'll give it a shot when it comes out, but, again, we do have something in the works. Cough, cough, cough.
Yes, we do.
But,
yes, we do.
If it doesn't live up to the hype that you're bringing, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. But then again, you have shown me shows like Stranger Things, and I've been hooked on those. So it's a maybe.
And as for you, Krüz?
Yeah. I was gonna say also that just because it has a note to it, the one episode a week thing, I think Rooster Teeth does it too for their shows, like Ruby and
Red versus
Genlock.
Blue.
Yeah. The animation kind of looks like a little less shiny, but kind of like was it Genlock? The what is it? What was I saying? Yeah, it looks quite good. I mean, aside from the furries thing, it's like because you gotta go see it because you're a furry, and or all the furries will just love it. But it does genuinely look pretty good. I've seen like some clips from it. I haven't like formally watched an episode yet, but we'll do that. But yeah, Scarfy, I think I asked this question directly to you, but very like so the people should know. Does for Netflix US do all episodes come out at once?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so
they don't like that's my biggest gripe with when it comes
stagger
to
it.
With Netflix in Japan. They unfortunately they only release one episode a week. It's annoying.
Oh,
I don't see
they're like Western media, like it used to be.
It's
and
not
like how
Western
it still
media.
is.
No, it's not. I don't agree with it. I'm sorry. If we have
do you watch TV shows that
if we
aren't
have
on
Stranger
Netflix?
Things, hold the fuck up. If we have Stranger Things released all at once, then Japan should be able to do that. So,
yeah, that's not how everything works. Stop being so entitled.
I don't
be patient.
Care.
It's my anime and I want it now. I need it now.
This is not a JG Wentworth commercial.
Call JG. No.
It's my spank bank and I need it now.
That's
what?
Oh, you know that there's well, there already was, but World 34. I haven't gone on to see it, but I can already tell you that they're probably an explosion.
Hey, Krüz, are you going to be watching this show when it debuts?
Yeah, I'm. Fortunate thing, depending on what happens on Friday itself, but that's right before spring break. That's what's like when spring break starts. So
whoa, spring break! We just stole this boat.
I'll have plenty of time to watch it. Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Well, that's it for our.
That's it. We've had a couple of slow weeks.
Yeah,
and I like shorter weeks because that means I can actually eat dinner with my family and not have to worry about, oh my god, why are we going so long and why is it still light out?
It's daylight savings time, dude.
It's daylight saving time.
Yes,
saving, not time. Savings.
Yeah, I found that out. I found that out this like just yesterday or today actually, but well, yesterday. Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, today. There you go.
Yes, today.
Cody, it's all a matter of opinion. Wait, no. You gotta believe it.
Okay, Cody. I have to be frank. Apples and oranges. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you can't compare.
Also, this is war you do not want to start.
Yeah. This is apples and oranges, dude.
I mean, the form. I mean, yeah, well, in reference to format. I mean, one's a show, one's a movie, but you can judge it based on other things, I guess, like animation, characters, whatever things, but not. It's a little. I don't know. I don't know. Comparing it, it's just you can if you want to, but it's like I just find it unnecessary, but it doesn't offend me or anything. Yeah.
I just hope that Naka and Krüz really like Beastars. That's really all I can say. Anyway, we're gonna move on to our coming attractions, and we only have a couple, so we're gonna start.
Well, the first one looks quite good.
Yes, it does. Greyhound.
I love war movies.
During World War II, a U.S. Navy skipper must lead an Allied convoy being stalked by Nazi U-boat wolf packs. And trust me, they are not kidding when they're saying Nazi U-boat wolf packs. They're quite dangerous.
Yeah, even so dangerous that Sabaton wrote a song about them called Wolfpack.
Hey, it's not like what we did to the Spanish. Let's blame the Maine on Spain.
Spain, the main on Spain.
So, what do you think about Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is on a boat again.
Yes. No, it's
this
Tom
time
Hanks.
he is the captain. It very clearly says that on his helmet. It kind of also reminds me a little bit of movie U-571, where what happens in that movie is that they don't. I think they damage a U-boat and they capture it, and I think and then they get, because they're in the German boat, American or British ships start going after them because they think they're Germans and they can't communicate. I think the communicators, like, their radio's broken, and it's also in German, so they can't really figure out what things it does.
The director of this film is apparently Aaron Schneider, who directed Get Low, but I don't want to sing that song, the song that goes to the window, to the wall.
You just said you weren't going to do it, then you were going to do it. Fucking pick one.
Very much, I guess. I don't remember what that movie is about, but definitely very much a change of pace. But yeah, Tom Hanks, he was the captain, then he wasn't the captain, now he's the captain again. This looks very interesting. I like. I definitely want to see it.
It's more World War II stuff to talk about in your history class.
Yes, I love World War II. It's probably one of my favorite subjects ever.
I love World War II. That's a favorite war.
Naka, what do you have to say regarding this? I haven't heard your opinion.
It's, World War II can be a touchy subject because you know what happened during World War II, right?
Right.
I'm not, I was trying to think of a joke when I was like, no, I'm not going to joke about the Holocaust. That's no.
Germany did Germany did a fucky wucky, and they had to go into the forever box.
I mean,
that's why they have those memorials put in place so they never repeat it. Or really, nobody repeats it. But again, World War II, it's definitely, you can tell that it's the turning of what will be, of what is the modern age, and it's also the start of the Cold War too. So, I mean, we don't really talk about, U-boats and submarines and stuff in World War II in history class if you think about it. So, we'll get to see something else out of World War II. Yay!
I see what you mean. So, I mean, hey, yeah, I can't wait. I just hope it's really good. Apparently, it took place in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's interesting.
I filmed it.
Apparently.
Well, it says the film took place in North Atlantic, but yeah,
it was filmed in Baton Rouge, going down to the bayou.
Yep. Same motion. It's all right.
Anyway, we're going to move on to our next film, our next trailer, which is Artemis Fowl. A young Irish criminal mastermind kidnaps a ferry officer for ransom to fund the search for his missing father. So in case you couldn't know, or Artemis Fowl is actually a book series that...
I did not know. I've only read one of the books, and it was... I liked it, but it was a slog. It was just a slow read, but...
Yeah, I heard it was a kind of a mixed bag of a book. I don't care. I really don't care about Artemis Fowl.
But what do you have to say regarding the trailer?
I just told you I don't care. I have no interest in the actual subject of Artemis Fowl, so I was just like, I watched it and it's like, Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, is that it, or do we just want to move on to our next trailer, which actually looks beautiful?
Yes.
I have a deep hatred for this movie's book
Really?
because
Really?
it was such like I just said with Artemis Hell, it was just a slow read, and I did not give a shit about
Would you
any
say
part
it's
of it.
Would you say it's like as slow as, say, The Great Gatsby? The Great Gatsby's pretty slow, dude.
I didn't feel like it was that slow, but yeah.
No. Well.
We'll get on and tell you like what it actually is. Yeah, this.
All right, we're going to move on to our next film, which is not its first adaptation, called The Secret Garden. An orphan girl who now lives in her uncle's house wanders around the castle and finds her long-distant cousin, whom together they encounter a secret and beautiful magical garden. I actually saw the original.
I know it's. I think it's been like done at least twice.
I believe it's actually done like 4 times. I believe The Secret Garden. Visually, it looks splendid. What do you have to say regarding the visuals, Naka?
It's definitely going to be one of those movies when it comes out. While it does look great, it's going to be one of those, let's look around and be amazed and whimsical movies.
Colors.
Right. But you also do want character development and all that good stuff, right?
Yes, because that's actually what a movie needs to be about, more so than, look at the pretty visuals.
So you said that you really did not like reading the book. Did you at least enjoy the movie, the original 1993 film, Krüz?
I would say I definitely enjoyed it better than reading the book. But I mean, it's not my particular like. I don't have much interest in like those kinds of movies and like how for that like story or whatever. But as a movie, it was all right for me. That's all about this. Yeah, they're really trying to push the like crazy visuals because there's like fucking flowers growing in like a time lapse mode and shit like that.
Anyway, anything else you want to say, guys, or no? Do you want to move on?
No.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next film.
Oh boy, it's what boomers complain about.
Okay, Boomer, that movie.
All right, Connected. A family too tied to their phones decided to take their daughter on a road trip to eventually save the world when technology tries taking over.
Oh my god, robot overlords.
No. To be honest, I do like
the Navy.
To be honest, I actually do like the animation in this. I don't know how well it's going to be done. I also have a feeling that a lot of people are saying that the main character in this is queer because it's showing the pride pin. Whether or not that's actually true is anyone's guess. We'll just have to wait and see what that has to do. Well, a lot of people analyze stuff, guys. You gotta take it for what it's worth.
Save the world when technology tries taking over. What is this, Maximum Overdrive, but shitty and cheap?
Wow, you guys are really having a bad rap with this one, huh? I mean,
I'm sorry. Oh no, technology's taking over the world. Oh, we're connected all to our cell phones. We made you.
Dude, it's produced by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, like the people who do the Lego movies, dude.
The guy who do the doo-doo.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I've done this plot before.
There's something about it that's turning you off, isn't it?
I mean, the fact that they might not have seen what they were going for, or they might not have thought of it, but I'm getting too many Maximum Overdrive vibes from this.
Really?
And I like Maximum Overdrive because it was a cheesy, weird, stupid movie. And I don't want this to be like that.
I see what you mean. Well, we're just going to have to wait and see how this plans out then.
Yes, but that will be a while, and it will not be this week because this is the end of our show.
Yeah. I found myself, I don't know really anything about the movie you're talking about, but if it's anything like I guess from the trailer, I would probably like it too. I mean, aside from the whole fucking boomer moments and all that shit, and the, I was like, I had this internal, like, everyone's heard the thing. It's like, no phones at the table or something like that. It's like, God, you're just like, okay, yeah, everyone's had that probably some point. But, it does look kind of funny in some ways. I think the funny part was like the robot's trying to figure out what the dog was, and it's like dog, pig, loaf of bread. But it wasn't a corgi though. It's like dog, pig, bread, die.
Toast.
Anyway, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And if there's any questions that you want to ask us, go to Twitter and just tweet
us
away.
There. We had an email, but nobody sent emails.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe because it was way too goddamn long.
Yeah. Oh, I think instead of a pathogen, we would have a pathogen, if you know what I mean.
I hate all of you.
Or a fucking protogen, I don't know, but that's not a virus.
Mm-hmm.
Protogens are cool.
I mean, Protogen is, I believe, an antivirus program. Hold on, let me look this up. I need to be sure.
I mean, they may have antivirus.
Oh, it's
programs if they're
Protogent.
like computer.
It's not. It's Protogen is the furry creature. It's Protogent is the antivirus.
Very
But
close.
this antivirus program is like a dental cream for your ass.
A dental cream for your ass. Oh my god. Okay. We're getting off topic. Like, comment, subscribe, send us, donations if you feel obligated. Of course, you don't always have to do that. I'm excited for Beastars. Please go watch Beastars when it comes out on Friday. That means you, Naka. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm busy, man. I got stuff to do.
You can at least watch one episode a day. Anyway.
Or I'll watch one episode a week to spite you.
No, be quiet. Anyway, that's all. That's it. That is our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Scarfy.
I am Naka.
And I am Krüz.
And this has been Subwuffer Entertainment. We hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day. Stay awesome and stay awesome. Have a good night, guys.
Take care of your loved ones. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. And have a beer. But only if you are of legal age or if you are in a place where your parents may live and they are okay with it. Do that. Ask them, and if they're okay with it, have a beer. Or don't. We're not your parents. Krüz, play us off.
I'm not your dad. He
Okay,
may
good
have
night,
been
bye.
Your father, but he wasn't your daddy.